Welcome back, everybody. Here we go with the 2 p.m. update. As you can see on your screen, it's now a Cat 3. Wind speeds went up 115 miles per hour. Pressure went down 2 more millibars, down to 970. Moving northwest at 10. And yes, I got my voice back. 4 cups of hot coffee and a Liberty Brew Mountain Dew. So I'm good to go. So I've also got some more interesting news. Go ahead and switch over to the National Hurricane Center. We got another area to watch. This has got a 30% in the next 5 days. So now I got something else to keep me busy of a night. Ways, it's just coming off the coast of Africa. So we'll see what happens with that one. But let's go back to Dorian. Now this is intermediate advisory update. So the cone didn't change from 3 hours ago. And the reason why we're back on the 3 hour, we go to satellite imagery. Notice those purple lines? That's why we're back on every 3 hour updates. That's hurricane watch for all of the Bahama Island. Well, most of them. Almost all of them. Includes Nassau, Freeport. And I'll be keeping an eye on this webcam as it gets closer. This is from the port at Nassau in the Bahamas. If you're interested in watching this, it's the web link is, I'll just post it here in the chat. Now you do have to turn off your ad blocker. Am I in Florida? And thank goodness, no. Just be sure and turn off your ad blocker for that web page. Otherwise, it'll only play for a few seconds. Hey, Chedster, Doc, Becky, One Adam, One Adam, Rick, and everybody else. Raven, hey, welcome back. So, I got the updated information there at the bottom of the screen. It is a Cat 3 now. Go figure, like we really didn't know that was going to happen. And there she is on satellite. Well-formed circulation now. And it's getting bigger. Some of the outer bands are getting real close to the Bahamas now, so we'll have to keep a close eye on that. Let's see here. What was that message? Huh. There was a message blocked, but I can't see what the message is. Oh, it's because you couldn't type. Don't worry about it. I see now. Yeah, I finally seen it. I had to go to another program to see it. Hey, Southpaw. So, yeah, everybody that's just joining me, Dorian is now a Cat 3 at 115 mile per hour winds and the pressure down to 970. So, and it's going to continue to get stronger and stronger. Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to be in the visitor centers. Rippy posted over on YouTube. The parks may have visitor centers open Saturday, but I don't think I'd want to be there because sometimes Saturday morning they'll start getting the tropical storm force winds. Yeah, it's considered a major hurricane at this point. Cat 3 and above is what they consider a major hurricane. And I've been seeing video of people trying to, fill their cars up, and there's some long lines already building at the gas stations, the stores. They're getting overcrowded. God, I hope everybody that lives down there that's been watching me the last several days has went ahead and got prepared. If not, man, you better get her done today. Yeah, you got that right, Doc. Black Friday is nothing. I'm not sure exactly where Nathan's headed to yet, but I got information told to me a little bit ago that now Nathan's job says go. So Nathan is headed down there. Thanks, Becky. Some gas stations are out and waiting on next delivery. That was posted over on my YouTube chat. Yeah, he's got a cool job, man. To let him go out and chase, and it's just great, man. Yeah, Rippy over on YouTube said uh, there was long lines last night, and if you don't have shopping done by tonight, it's probably too late. Exactly. That's the reason why I've been telling people for the last several days to get started now. Don't wait till Friday or Saturday, which today is Friday now. Yeah, they're saying uh, you should stockpile for 7 days. And if you don't want to go buy gallons and gallons of water, before your water gets contaminated, fill up every pan that you've got. Clean your bathtub out, fill it up. That way you don't have to buy the water. That's if you're going to try to stay there. Now, I really highly suggest when the authorities say evacuate, please do. Yeah, that's going to be Rippy posted over on YouTube that people are driving very unsafe, and people are starting to panic now, and you're going to have that. It's dry. Not so much dry air. We'll take a look at that. This thing is so strong at this point. There's any dry air that gets pulled into it, it's really not going to do anything to it. Now, we got a lot of dry air, here in the southeast states, but that's far enough away at this point. And we got a cold front that's pushing down. You can kind of see that. I'll pause it here. Thanks for the follow. Let's do this in blue, because there's a cold front right in there that's going to be pushing down. And so all that dry air will get sucked into all of that. There'll be some storms pop up on that. But I'm not too worried about the dry air really affecting Dorian. Last night it was really pulling a lot down in the southern part of it. But it's so strong now, it's like, screw you. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Here's infrared satellite. It'll take a little bit here to load. Yeah, pretty much my YouTube is just like Twitch, but I do like the chat a lot better in Twitch. Plus, it's a lot easier for people to donate and give me bits and stuff like that. I'm not sure if Jennifer is on her way yet, but I know she's going. I'm not sure where Polk County is. Hey, thanks, Bubblegum. Thanks for the bits, man. It really helps me keep coming to you. This is a very expensive hobby. And I live on disability, so you can just imagine. She is on the road. Good deal. Is anybody going weather, Becky? Just west of Tampa. Okay. There's some of the models that has this thing going over to the Gulf. It's a little early to tell just yet, but let's take a look. Let's see here. I'll show you some of the spaghetti models if they're updated. Oh, nobody's going to be with her? Gosh. Hope she sticks around close to Nathan or Michael. Now, this is a global set of models, so it's all the different models that they use. And you can see like the EGR2 in the UK has it coming over here in the Gulf. Same way with this orange one. So it's a little uncertain. Like I've been saying for the last few days, we still have that upper low to the southwest of it, and we're going to have this high and a ridge to the north of it. And with the low spinning counterclockwise, the high spinning clockwise, that's what's going to push it into Florida. If one weakens more than the other, then that direction is going to change. So it's a little uncertain at this point. Webcam for Nassau. Let's see if I still got that in my clipboard. Yep, there it is. Just be sure to turn off your ad blocker, or it won't work. Here's some of the GFS ensembles, and even some of those has got it going barely into the Gulf. It's still too early to tell. And when this thing gets closer, I'll know a lot more. Yeah, this webcam, I used to watch it. This is all part of a guy that's got this camera network, mainly for watching cruise ships. As you can see one there trying to turn around. And it's PTZ TV. It's still kind of varying between Monday night and Tuesday. It's going to depend on the track, and I'll show you why when we look at this cone. Now this is 11 o'clock cone update. Naturally, down south here is closer to it. So the timing would be a little earlier than it would be if it went up there. Now, there's still a chance that this high, let's see here. Well, I can do it in yellow. It's going to be this high up here. If it's a weak high, this thing could go right up through here. There's some of the models that's kind of suggesting that. If it's a real strong high, then it could go over here. So anywhere in that cone. Now, remember, folks, this cone is for the center of the hurricane, not the whole thing. One item, I go through several sites. I use Pivotal Weather and Tropical Tidbits is the one that I was just showing the spaghetti models. But mainly, I try to just use the Euro and the GFS on Pivotal Weather. And this is the latest on the Euro. And I'll play it here for you. Watch the bottom right corner. That's Dorian. And you can see how this high starts setting up a ridge. These pink areas, off the southeastern coast there, that's the ridge. That's the ridge that's going to steer this thing. What time is landfall? It's still too early to tell. It's going to be somewhere, as of right now, I think, between Monday night and Tuesday morning. But again, if it goes to the northern part of this cone, if it's a weak high, it's going to take it longer to get there. So it could be even sometime Wednesday morning. So it's really hard to tell. Now, as of right now, this black line, which is the center of the cone, should be making landfall sometime around 8 o'clock in the morning, estimated, as a Cat 3, 125 mile per hour wind. And that's on September 3rd. So that would be Tuesday. Yes, they are still saying Cat 4. This dot here, as it passes over Freeport in the Bahamas, that's going to be 140 mile per hour winds. That's at 8 o'clock on Monday morning. But another thing, too, is, does this thing slow down more? It's already slowed down 4 miles per hour since yesterday. So if it slows down even more, for one, it's going to get bigger. And two, it throws the timing off for landfall. So that's the reason why I say, when you look at it from where it is right now to Florida, that's still quite a ways. It's over 300 miles away and only moving 10 miles an hour. So it's too hard to say exactly where it's going to fall in and exactly what time. Hey, Tammy. But yes, I go through several different web pages, information from the Weather Channel. I look at my own models, like the GFS here. I'll go ahead and play that. That finally got updated. Could you stand in a 140 mile per hour wind? I guess that all depends. Me, myself, at 120 pounds, no, it would blow me right off my feet. That's the GFS. 100-mile-per-hour wind would blow me off my feet. Hey, Drew. Now, what's curious about these model runs this morning, look how that's going up the coast. And it could make landfall several times. But the northern side of this, I mean, it's going to affect all the way up the East Coast. So people in other states need to keep an eye on this thing. Definitely keep an eye on it. I mean, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia. I would say, even if you lived up in Washington, D.C. or Maryland, keep an eye on this thing. Get ready for it, because it's still too early to tell. And as the way the models are looking right now, it's going to affect so many states. And notice, I know it's probably hard to read, but like right there, it's got the millibars at 991. So it's still pretty strong right there at about Savannah, Georgia. And as long as it stays near that coast and keeps bobbling in and out of the ocean, it's going to hang on to its strength. Am I a meteorologist? No, I'm not a professional meteorologist. I'm just a weather analyst. That's my new title that was given to me a few months ago. I don't forecast. Well, when I'm helping the chasers, we kind of do some forecasting. And yeah, South Carolina is going to get affected, man. I mean, look right there, between, right there and right there. Everybody up that coast is going to get it, man. Loss accidentally closed my Twitch. Whoops. All I try to do is bring you the most accurate, up-to-date information that I can. And I go through several places to gather this information. And sometimes, I'll throw my little tidbits in, but sometimes I'm wrong. A few days ago, I thought this thing would speed up when it got past Puerto Rico. And it made me into a liar. Damn thing. This Dorian's got a mind of its own. There's still a possibility of it crossing over Florida and going into the Gulf. My audio's out of sync. Huh. I don't know why it would be. I'm not pushing the processor that hard on either computer. Oh, it's not. It's Dorian. It's a male. Try refreshing your page, because others says it's fine. And just out of curiosity, I want to show you all something. Past track. For some reason it won't let me do it. Let me refresh my page here. Not letting me click on past track. Right now it's 445 miles away from the northwestern Bahamas. So it's even probably more than 500 miles away from Florida. When it gets closer, I'll be able to start measuring and get pretty accurate. Oh, that's the reason why it was out of sync. listening on YouTube and watching here. Yeah. There's built-in delays for Twitch and YouTube, so again, for those just joining me, let me show you the latest information. Actually, I'm pretty wound up. Yeah, between 4 cups of coffee and this Liberty Brew Mountain Dew, gosh, it has a lot of caffeine. So, unlike 3 hours ago, I'm pretty wide awake. But there's your latest information, and there's two of the evacuation zones websites. If you live in Florida, it's floridadisaster.org. If you live in Georgia, ready.ga.gov. And later today, I'll go ahead and get evacuation websites for South Carolina, North Carolina. Yeah, I know, Weather Pilot. Yeah, it's amazing that people wait so long. That's the reason why I've been preaching for the last several days. Try to get them to stop procrastinating. Is the easterly shear doing anything to hold this back at the moment? No. Uh, the shear is really low out ahead of it, to the point, well, this thing is so strong, it's not going to affect it whatsoever. Now, what could be affecting its elongation is this upper level low down here, and you can see this spin. Let me go to full size here. You can see this spin down in there. That's where the upper level low that's helping to steer it. Roughly about right in there. So the winds are kind of pushing it. Yes, we have several chasers going down there. Nathan Moore, Jennifer McMahon, Michael Koch, and Kyle Bowers. I believe it's Bowers. That's the ones that I know about. I don't know if there's anybody else. Now, there's another person that lives down there in Florida that he's going to be down there. Yep, Nathan's going down now. His job gave him permission, being really cool about it. He's been there for a long time, and they know it's important what he does. Yeah, Jennifer's on her way down. Jennifer McMahon. Zoom in on this. Man, look at this eye. It went through an eye wall replacement late last night. And then, like I said last night, once it did that, I knew this morning that it had a well-defined eye. Ain't that thing pretty? There's some points there you can actually see all the way down to the ocean. Thanks, Becky. Yeah, Josh lives down there in Florida. Yeah, when it gets dark in that eye, that's the ocean. And see how it's getting that cauliflower looking tops on it? Those are real overshooting top thunderstorms. Hey, Slayer. Thanks for joining me. So for those just joining, it is a Cat 3 hurricane, 115 mile per hour winds. The pressure has dropped by 2 millibars down to 970. Still moving northwest at 10 miles per hour. Yeah, it's getting all kinds of areas where it's really blowing up. You know, they're on the northeast side, even back here on one of the outer bands. You know, look how some of those are really popping. And believe me, it's going to get physically bigger as it gets stronger. Trump is controlling the storm. Yeah, right. He wish he had that much power. So you can see some storms already over Florida. That has nothing to do with Dorian. We'll look at infrared again. You can really see the eye, even on the infrared. Now, the bolder the colors, the colder that part of the storm is, and what that tells me, it's gotten taller and taller. The taller the clouds get, the colder they get. So in infrared, it shows up getting bolder and darker. So those real dark areas there, those are some super tall clouds. See you later, Southpaw. Next update will be 5 o'clock this afternoon. This is the 2 o'clock update. Right there. That's all your latest information for the new people joining me. It's a 2 p.m. update that come out 38 minutes ago. I got it a few minutes early, so that's the reason why I started up the stream at 2 o'clock. Well, thanks, Terry. Yeah, this is my mission. Also, if you have Zello, which is a walkie-talkie app that you can get for your phone, we have a public channel. If you haven't done so already, just search for Stormview Live. You'll see all kinds of channels. The one that's just called Stormview Live, that's a public channel that you can talk on. The other channels are chase channels. You can listen on those, but you can't talk on them. You better believe I will. I'll be keeping my chasers safe, and I'll be broadcasting at the same time, so you get to see my behind the scenes of what I do. I'll continue to give you updated information as we go along. I mean, I won't let you guys down as far as trying to keep you updated. Yeah, Becky, you're right. I should have mentioned that. If you get on our public channel for the first time, just key up and ask for a moderator, because only the moderators can hear you, and then they'll get you trusted in so you can talk with everybody. A couple years ago, we had thousands of people that got on that channel. How you doing, Patty? Thanks for tagging me in that one post on Facebook. That was pretty cool stuff. So, if you live down there, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, for now, and there'll be more states depending on how this thing tracks, get to an emergency kit A Yankee housewife in the South. That's funny. I'm not sure which channel I'll be on. Most likely Chase 2. Yes, Drew, that was. Oh, thanks, one Adam. Yeah, subscriptions are greatly welcomed. Bits, subs. You can also do a direct donation by going to streamlabs.com/bgraywx. I think the minimum is $5 donation. You could donate as much as you want. A lot of people prefer to do that. And Streamlabs will pop that up here in a little bit there in the chat and give you that link. All donations are greatly appreciated. Yes, I do. Actually, the Streamlabs, that still goes to PayPal. But if you would rather use PayPal, you don't have to have an account. If you go to PayPal, it's paypal.me/bgraywx. And you don't have to have a PayPal account. When we're going to start chasing, when it gets there. Hey, thanks for the subscription. Appreciate that, tier 1. Yeah, when they get there, I'll be letting everybody know. And the ones that'll be streaming, we'll probably do a multi-stream. And when we get to that point, hey, thanks for the bits, Terry. I'll post the link for everybody so you can watch all their streams and me at the same time. I love multi-stream. So we're still planning on that high pressure ridge. And as you can see down here to the southwest side, the upper level low, it's about right in there right now. That's going to be moving away. And could it move towards southern Florida? Maybe. It could move down this way. And those counterclockwise winds will help to steer it. So it's really not sure, and it's right about there right now. We're really not sure which way that's going to go. The model's kind of having a hard time with it. Now, I'll be trying to stream every update that I can, because I don't have a life. When this thing gets closer, I'll be doing long streams and a lot of them. When it gets really close, really close to Florida, I'll probably be doing 24-hour streams. I'll have to mute the mic when I lay down to sleep. There you go. If you'd like to donate directly with a credit card or a debit card, right there's the link. Streamlabs.com/bgraywx. But if it's anything like 2 years ago, I might be up for 2 or 3 days straight. I'm going to wear out my coffee pot. Hey, thanks for the 500 bits. Really appreciate that, one Adam. Now later today, I'm going to be working. Thank you. Thank you for those 10 bits. Every little bit helps, man. Every little bit helps. Excuse me. But later today, I'm going to start working on some more graphics. And some more information will be included in those graphics, including some evacuation web pages for all the states that's going to be affected, or if you just need to go there and get some information. Yeah, Becky, there'll be several of us not getting any sleep. Now, the next update is going to be at 5 o'clock. My phone has been blowing up with messages saying that I'm going to have some thunderstorms here right around 5 o'clock. But I'm going to stream anyway. If my internet goes out, you'll know what happened. Yeah, let's go back to visible, because this thing is just so gorgeous. It's elongated, but that central core is still pretty symmetric. Now, like I mentioned a few days ago, and I'm going to pause this. See these fingers going out? That's outflow. You'll see some wispy ones up here. See some down here. That's outflow of the storm. And that tells me the storm is really strong. The more that I see, the more I know exactly it's breathing. What you'll end up having is there'll be there already is, there's a low pressure on the surface, and on top of it will be a high pressure. And because of the difference in the pressure, this thing, it's got some areas that it's dropping, and then other areas next to it that are going up. It's similar to a tornado in that respect. Hey, thanks for the follow, Jimmy. And that you'll have some areas of your downdraft and some areas with updraft. That's where it's similar, like a tornado. But there's a lot of other differences. But basically, it's you constantly got an upflow and downflow all the way around this thing. It's a breathing machine. It's a living, breathing machine. Yeah, by tomorrow, Saturday, at some point, it'll be hard to fly out of there. No, I don't. I don't think I was streaming on Twitch at that point. I think I was only streaming on YouTube at the time. Twitch doesn't keep the streams for very, very long, and I didn't bother to save them. I was so busy on our Zello channel giving updated information. I don't believe I got to do a lot of live streaming. Yeah, please, people, share this out on your Facebook, your social media of any kind, Twitter, whatever. Get me more people, because this is very important information. I know I have people over on my YouTube that's sharing that link if they would rather watch YouTube. I prefer Twitch, but I've got people over on YouTube that have troubles with Twitch, and they absolutely refuse to come over here to Twitch, and that's fine. That's the reason why I'm dual streaming to both at the same time. I want to get this information, the updated, most accurate information, to everybody, and especially the people that are going to be affected down there. Actually, not only Andrew, uh, this thing could possibly be a lot like Harvey. I'm already seeing estimates of 2 foot rainfall for parts of Florida already, and it's several days out, but they're already saying there could be 2 foot or more uh, of rainfall. And the reason why, let's go back to the cone. And the reason why is because the amount of time it's going to be over land. Now, if you notice, this dot here where it's going to be Cat 4, and this dot here where it's going to be a Cat 3, there's a very short difference. And what that is the timeline. Now, last night, between the time it hit just off the coast, they had a dot like right in there, to over land was only a 24-hour period. So when it gets to this one, and if it follows this track and goes to there, that's a long time for it to be dumping rain. Florida Division of Emergency Management is already looking for qualified amateur radio. Yeah. Oh, definitely. They always do. They always do. Amateur radio, which I am a ham myself, have been since 1981. And I've helped in a lot of emergencies over the years using ham radio. Do you think they'll ever have technology that will either dissipate a hurricane or slow it down or make it a lower number? Who knows? To tell you the truth, my personal feelings on that, you don't mess with Mother Nature. When do I think it's going to be falling? You mean as far as intensity? Thanks, Drew, for sharing. Whenever I go live, it automatically posts on my weather page. You can always share that. As far as falling in intensity, they're this one here has a Cat 4. That one has a Cat 3. Is what they're suggesting right now. Now this one up here, that has it a Cat 1, 75 mile per hour. And that's for 8 a.m. on the 4th, which is Wednesday, I think. And this one is 8 a.m. on the 3rd. So there's 24 hours between landfall there and up here north of Orlando. That's 24-hour period that it's going to be just raising hell. Even at a Cat 1 up there, it's pretty devastating. You know what? This thing's going to be so big that I do believe, except for maybe the Panhandle, unless it gets over in the coast side, pretty much all of Florida is going to be getting rain from this thing. No, that won't slow it down. I mean, personally, I wished it would stay out over the ocean because it's just so gorgeous. Like I said, my personal opinion, don't mess with Mother Nature. We need, believe it or not, we need weather. Hey, thanks for the bits. And our whole lives are what they are because of weather, good or bad. I mean, even your wildfires and stuff. Uh, yeah, it's devastating. But in the natural world, that's good because there's new growth from it. Here's what I'm drinking. Oh, I want to show you guys something cool. Now, the other night, I was telling you, you can take a gallon milk jug, fill it with water. Your power goes out. Get one of those LED flashlights, like you strap on your head. Hang it over that bottle and point it in to the bottle. And that bottle will just light up like a lantern. Now, sometimes I drink this. Now, it's got a white color to it. And but I want to show you something. Hang on a minute. Got to throw a towel over my light up here. Hopefully you can see this on your end. Little demonstration time. Okay, I'm going to take my phone and I'm going to turn on the flashlight. Now, you can see kind of dark looking. Put that flashlight on the bottom and look how it lights up. Ain't that cool? Now, it works even better if it's water. But that's how you can make a lantern just using your phone and putting it shining through some clear liquid. If we don't get the amount of rain that we hope for, we'll then. Okay, my phone's going nuts.
And I also started a workout / dietary thing today. I'll lose it.
Well, that's my Zello channel, by the way. Get rid of the towel. And, like I was saying a few hours ago, if you don't want to buy bottled water, which if you're in the affected zones, you want at least a gallon of water per day per person for at least 7 days. And your emergency kit, your non-perishable foods, should gather for 7 days at least. Okay? But if you don't want to go pay those high prices for that much water, take every pan you got, fill it up with water. Make sure your bathtub's clean, but fill it up with water. Look how many gallons of water your bathtub holds. And do that before the storm gets there, before your water gets contaminated. And you'll have plenty of water to last you through. So there's some little tidbits. Now be sure to get your prescriptions refilled. If you got pets that need medicine, do the same for them. Also, be sure and get food for them too. And if you do evacuate, take your can't talk. If you're going to evacuate, which I would suggest, take your pets with you. Don't leave them behind, because then they have to try to get water rescued. And at some point, it's going to be impossible. I mean, they'll have to shut down rescues when this thing really starts hitting hard, because they don't want to put their lives in danger as well. Take another look at the eye on this thing. Now, don't leave pets in hot cars. Forget that. Do not want to see that. There has been way too many children and pets dying this year and being left in hot vehicles. I mean, pets is, you got a pet because you want companionship, and they end up being your best friend. Don't leave them behind. And that happens so many times. I mean, look after Harvey hit, and when they were doing live rescues, water rescues, they were also having to go in there and try to get the pets out of the houses. And that is so sad. If you're going to go, man, don't put yourself to the point where you got to be rescued. Get out of there when you're told to. Take your pets with you. It's better for everybody. Look at that eye. Ain't that gorgeous? Get pulse point. I don't know what that is. Yes, there are people that have evacuated and left their pets. It's a shame, man. It's horrible shame. They're leaving their best friends behind. I see it every hurricane. Every hurricane. Yeah, I couldn't either. I couldn't. Yeah, this, I tell you what, just over the last 2 years, well, I'd say maybe more than that, but people are getting notified more and more. And why people wait till the last minute, I don't know. Oh, really, Patty? For those on YouTube, Patty said Governor of Georgia had to remind everyone it is a felony to leave them behind. Okay, Molly, we'll catch you later. I'll be back on in a couple hours. And since they're doing updates every 3 hours now, there'll be, like I said, the 5 o'clock, then there'll be an 8 o'clock and 11 o'clock. Now, I'm not going to do the 2 in the morning. Not yet. Okay, folks. Yeah, I got to get some rest sometime. So, till this thing gets really close, I'm not going to do the 2 in the morning and the 5 in the morning. I might do the 8 in the morning. Yes. People get overcharged because it's an emergency, and you know that's against the law. Price gouging is against the law. Okay, Radio Geek, we'll catch you later, man. Yes, thanks, Patty, for reminding me. One of the key things that I've been mentioning, check on your neighbors, especially the elderly. help them out. Help your neighbors, man. It'll make you feel good. It'll help them. Because it's really sad that during emergencies, a lot of times the elderly get left behind. Now, one of my neighbors has got a good friend down there in Florida, and she was telling me yesterday, he's like a security guard at a nursing facility, and they have already discussed all hands on deck to help everybody in the nursing homes. So there are people down there that are planning ahead for the elderly, and it's really great. But if you live down there in any of the affected states, check on your neighbors, make sure they're all right, because there's some people that think they, are going to get out of this, with nothing. I seen on TV yesterday, this guy's one neighbor says, "Oh, we're not going to get hit." Yeah, I remember that from a couple years ago. That there was a nursing home where people were stuck in wheelchairs and water was up to their chest. They had to be rescued. I tell you what, when I storm chased tornadoes, one thing that I did, for one, I had a police scanner, and I actually got to help in a rescue for an elderly man. His house got totally wiped out, and they couldn't find him. And so I grabbed two of my cousins, and we went out searching, and he was found quite a ways away down in a big ditch covered in mud. Your neighbor's a fat drunk guy that takes selfies. That's funny. I guess everybody's got to have a hobby. Oh, let's see here. What we got going? I missed that, Becky. That something you deleted. Thanks, Becky. I didn't catch that. Weather pilot. I haven't heard anything yet from the Cajun Navy. I'm sure they're going to get involved. Is it going to hit tomorrow? No. It's going to be sometime between Monday night and Tuesday at this point. Yeah, if you want to show links for webcams, sure. I don't care. I may have to get them approved. But I'll be sharing a lot of that. Like for those of you just joining, one place that I'm already keeping an eye on is Nassau. This is, got to do a commercial. How hard it's going to hit Orlando? At this point, they're saying a Cat 1. It's still a little early to tell. Okay, this is the port at Nassau. And as this thing gets closer to Nassau, I'm going to keep an eye on this webcam. I tell you what I did here a few years ago, and it's from the same company that's got different websites. It's PTZ TV. And when that one hurricane hit Bermuda, I was watching a live webcam as that thing hit, man, and that was crazy. This is the Port of Nassau. I'll go ahead and post the link. And be sure, if you got an ad blocker, turn it off, or else this website won't work. But that's the link. There you can see the cruise ships are still there. Now, when this thing starts getting closer, those cruise ships will be gone. They'll be getting the heck out of there, whether they're ready to go or not. Oh, Zoe, you're in Port St. Lucie. Let's wait and see till it gets a little bit closer. As this thing gets closer on this cone, the area of uncertainty will get smaller. You know, it starts to be area uncertainty, you know, right there. So this is not written in stone. For one, the center could go anywhere in this cone, but this cone's going to change. I'm sure on the 5 o'clock update, it's going to change. As it gets closer, this bubble will start getting smaller and more certain of the key infected areas. Savannah Hunter Army Airfield would move aircraft 48 hours out. Yeah, all the airfields, they'll be moving their stuff out of there. Yeah, pretty much the main Euro that I was showing earlier, this is it right here. And it's got it going up the coast. This is the latest Euro run. You can see there how she skirts up the coast. But that's going to change as well. It's all going to depend on how strong that high pressure ridge that's going to be off like the coast of North Carolina or Virginia. But there are some model runs that's got it actually going across over into Gulf. So it's all going to depend on how strong that high ridge is going to be. Now here's the latest GFS. Wait till it restarts here. Let it replay. Okay, here it comes. And notice the GFS is starting to show a lot like the Euro. That's when I've got more confidence, and my confidence will get stronger when it gets a little bit closer and we get another run or two. But a few days ago, the GFS was totally different than the Euro. I mean, the GFS still has it making landfall a little bit further north than what the Euro does, but it's getting a lot closer to showing pretty much the same thing. Now, they won't 100% agree with each other, but I always trust the Euro first. And I still look at the GFS, but I don't take it real serious until it starts getting closer. And then I get a higher confidence. Yeah, it's only moving as of the last update, 10 miles per hour. So, again, I'll show everybody the latest information on it. And zoom out here. And it could potentially slow down some more. And the slower it is, the stronger it's going to get. Now, I know last night, I didn't get a chance yet today, but I know some of the models last night had this thing as possibly a Cat 5. It's not out of the question. Same way with it going into Gulf, or not making landfall in Florida and go offshore. That's also a possibility. At this point, I'm not counting anything out. There's just too many uncertainties at this point. If it speeds up, it'll hit sooner. If it slows down, it'll delay timing on it, as well as it'll get stronger. So 24 hours ago, this thing was moving 14 miles per hour, and now it's down to 10. And it's several hundreds of miles away from Florida and only moving 10 miles an hour. So that's why I say, I can't tell you where or when 100% when it's going to hit. Now I'm seeing 47 viewers on Twitch. So my overall, I'm showing 50 people. So I got some over on YouTube watching. But there is the latest information, the 2 p.m. update. Okay, I didn't see your post. What was that, Lane? As this thing gets closer, I will be looking at NWS in Miami. I know so many people. I'm really bad at names. I really am. I'm sorry. This is actually the satellite view. I'm using GR Earth. This is GR. There we go. I got too many things going on at the same time. This is GR Earth. This is the satellite view. Right now, there's no radar sites near it. Now, the other day, I was able to show you the radar site out of Puerto Rico, but it's way too far away. And the Bahamas don't have any radar sites for me to use. The next closest radar site is Miami, and it's way too far away. When it gets close enough, I'll start showing you radar sites as well as the satellite view. I wish there was some radar sites in the Bahamas. But even Dominican Republic doesn't have any radar sites. Now, to have GR Earth, the program itself is free, but it won't work unless you get a subscription for the data. And that costs me $15 a month. So like I was saying, with donations of whatever way you can, I have to pay for, like the subscription for this. I have to have Allison House. I have to pay a subscription for that. And some of my other software that I have to pay for. But the danger is increasing for all the southeast states. We got to keep a very close eye on this thing. If you live in Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, even Virginia, maybe even Maryland, be prepared. Be prepared for this thing. Don't wait till the last minute to do your shopping. Fill your cars up. As this thing gets closer, I guarantee your gas prices are going to go up. I've already read earlier here in the chat that some of the gas stations have run out of gas already and waiting for the next delivery. That'll get even worse. 2 years ago, there was a lot of gas stations that ran out of gas there in Florida. And at one point, they had stopped shipping gas to those gas stations. So it was several days. Plus, you got to consider this too. When that power goes out, they can't pump the gas. They've already started going up, Zola. Wow. And that's sad because that's price gouging. And that is illegal. I know 2 years ago, there were some places that they was really gouging, and they got caught at it. Yeah, Beck, you're right. Some had to go to Tennessee to even get gas. Now, as this thing gets closer, I'll start giving you some other information, like storm surge. Once I know more about where it's going to hit, I'll start showing you a website that will show you where the storm surge and all kinds of other information. So I'm not only going to give you storm information, I'm going to try to give you everything I can so you can stay better informed. Thanks, Gary. Appreciate the raid, bud. So a lot of that, I got to wait till it gets a little closer. Hey, Skywarn. Hey, you might want to drop your caps. My bot doesn't like a whole lot of capital letters. So, that's okay, man. Really had cops at the Walmart directing traffic. I can just imagine, man. People are waiting till the last minute. I've been preaching for several days now. Hey, Armchair. Don't procrastinate. Don't wait till the last minute. I wish I could reach out to everybody down there. I really do. Now, in the past few days, there's been other people watching and in the chat that live down there in Florida. But maybe they'll come on a little bit later. If you have information down there in Florida, let me know. I'll pass it along. Put it in the chat. I'll pass it along to the people watching on YouTube, or vice versa. If anybody that's over there on YouTube and has information, credible information, please don't be giving me no hype crap. But if you have pertinent information that's credible and you're on YouTube, put it in the chat over there. I'll still see it, and I'll pass it along to the people on Twitch. We'll go both ways with it. Taco Division, we're part of Florida. If they still got gas, get her filled up. Oh, Orlando? Okay. Stay tuned. I'll let you know as I know for sure. No, it's Cat 4. Or, excuse me. It's Cat 3. Sorry. I'm already looking ahead. Yeah, it's Cat 3. Screens here. This is the latest information. It's a Cat 3, 115 mile per hour wind, 970 millibars, moving northwest at 10. Now, let me look at the cone here. And for the next area, okay, by 8 o'clock tonight, they're expecting it to go up to 120 mile per hour winds. Oh, really? They were out of stock? You would think, as big as Walmart and Aldi's is, that they would have had been overstocked. I mean, duh, come on. Now, if you haven't seen it yet, this is the Saffir-Simpson scale. This is what we go by for the categories. So, if this thing tonight, overnight, gets over 129 miles per hour, it will then be a Cat 4. And I wouldn't put it past it to be a Cat 4 tomorrow. It only has to get up to 130 mile per hour wind. That's only 15 miles per hour stronger than what it is right now. Yes, it's a very well-defined storm. Get this back up for you. Yeah, like I say, as far as the water goes, fill up every pan you got. And, be sure your bathtub's really clean. And fill it up. Don't buy the water. And believe it or not, here's another thing that I've been telling people. Get a manual can opener. Power goes out, your electric can opener is not going to work. And you would not believe how many people don't think of that. Not everybody has a good old hand turn can opener anymore. Everybody depends so much on technology. Now, one thing I need to look into, and they did it a couple years ago, is I'm getting alerted. I've got lightning nearby. But the cell carriers, I need to find out what their plan. Naturally, cell towers are going to go down. Yeah, be sure, and a lot of people will still do this. Don't use regular candles. It's a safety hazard. Could start a fire if it gets knocked over. Get a flashlight. It's battery operated. I mean, they have these flashlights now that you can get that instead of a battery, it's a energy cell that you can pull out, dip it in water, stick it back in, and your flashlight's good to go. One thing I would highly suggest. Yes, I'm in Ohio, Southwest Ohio. Not far from the college town of Oxford. But they have these power packs to charge your phones that are solar powered. Great idea. Except for it's going to be so cloudy that you may not be able to get it charged up. But got a little lightning near me, Beck? take a look at the radar. I've been so tied up with this hurricane, I don't even watch what's out my deck, my back door. Got some a little west of me. Bring up GR3 and see what I got. Yeah, I got some down there by Hamilton. Nothing real close to me. A little over by Indianapolis. So I was still, even, the candles that are in a jar. I mean, that storm hits, and for some reason, your window gets busted, and you got all that wind coming in. It could knock it over. It's just not a good idea. But like I showed you, man, take a battery-powered flashlight, the flashlight on your phone if you need to, when your lights go out. Shine it through a clear bottle of water. It'll light up like a lantern. And I tried this one night. A bunch of us was sitting outside. It was after dark. And I took my trusty Frost Gatorade and stuck it on top of my flashlight on my phone and set it on the center of the table, that big round table we was all sitting around, and it lit up that whole area like a lantern. And it was just a little LED flashlight in my phone shining through the liquid in this bottle. Yeah, glow sticks are a good idea. The light don't go very far on those, but it's better than nothing. Yeah, battery powered lanterns, all kinds of great ideas. And I tell you the truth, the people wait till the last minute, they panic, and they forget. Walk in a store. I do that because I'm getting old, but I'll walk in a store and it's like, okay, what was I going for? I'll end up buying something that I really didn't want and forget what I was after. And you'll see that a lot with people going to stores, and they're going crazy trying to remember everything because people don't make lists anymore. Yeah, a jug of water. I've actually seen it done, and what they did is you can get these LED flashlights. It's got a strap you put on your forehead for working on whatever, cars, whatever. And just take that and put it over top of a gallon of water and have the flashlight shining into the water. And man, it'll light up a whole room. Yeah, as long as you've got cell coverage and your phones got power, you can always check into our Zello channel, the public channel. Put Zello on your phone and search for Stormview Live. We have that public channel that somebody will constantly putting out information on there. If it's not me, we have a bunch of people that will pass along that information to you. Now again, if you do it for the first time, you need to key up and talk and let a moderator know that you're there, and the moderator will get you approved, trust you in, and hey, thanks Becky, that's cool. And then you'll be able to talk once you're trusted in. I don't know what I'd do without Becky. Becky, by the way, is a part of our Stormview Live team. Great moderator. And does admin work. And we have a lot of people like her that help out. Not only with the Zello channels, but our websites, here in the chats. Yeah, she's a blessing to have. I was so glad when she joined Stormview Live. And we have many like her as well. Yeah, she's the band hammer. You got to watch her now. She'll ban you in a heartbeat. Speaking of mods, need to get a hold of Jess, and since she lives down there in Florida, and see if she's going to be on. I haven't talked to her in a long time. Hopefully she'll get on and give us information. She lives more in the northwest part of Florida, if I remember right. But she's been a big help in the past. We have so many radar guides and admins and moderators. It's a great team. It's a great team. I forget what our roster is now, how many people we got on the team. Hey, thanks for the host. For some reason, it's not popping up on the screen. At least I didn't hear it. Yeah, Nathan Moore is the boss man. He's the one that started the Stormview Live. Oh, wow, we got over 200 now? Jeez, old Pete. Thanks for the host, Jared. For some reason, it's not popping up. And I have my stream labels running. And it quit working. Just popped in. Okay, folks, it's going on 20 to 4. I'm going to go ahead and call it for now. Let me go ahead and switch to this. Whoops, wrong one. That one. This is the latest information. And I will be back here in a little over an hour for the 5 o'clock update. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. So stay tuned, folks. I'll be back. Might be a little after 5. And we'll see what happens next. So y'all take care. See you here shortly.